Sometimes vulnerability is unfortunately understood as dependence.
Yes. That's interesting. So the internet saying that it's interesting.
All of us are here.
Yeah.
Sounded very interesting. Now we analyzing shuru ho gaya.
Inner child. All along we've been defining strength as someone who is the provider, who is the supporter, who does not bend. Right? Is that really the definition of strength?
Welcome everybody. Thank you so much for being here. And this is Dear Zindagi circle for me. Dear Zindagi मैंने इसका नाम रखा because life बहुत precious है, बहुत ही simply निकल जाती है जिंदगी. कभी कभार हम ध्यान नहीं देते छोटी चीजों पे. And we are here basically to focus on one छोटा topic जो मेरे लिए बहुत special है. That is strength. जहाँ पे strength equals to loneliness. Because कई बार हम देखते हैं जिंदगी में कि जब हम strong होते हैं अपने लिए, दूसरों के लिए, हम कहीं ना कहीं अपने आप को खो देते हैं. हम कहीं ना कहीं खुद लोनली हो जाते हैं कि हम भूल जाते हैं कि हम भी हेल्प मांग सकते हैं. और शायद कभी कभी जब आप हेल्प मांगते हैं किसी से, वो लोग भी शॉक्ड हो जाते हैं क्योंकि उनको आदत ही नहीं हमको हेल्प मांगते देखते हैं. सो द आइडिया हियर इज टू पॉइंट इट आउट और टू ब्रिंग इट आउट कि डू यू मीन दैट स्ट्रेंथ is going to lead to loneliness? Can we be strong and not be lonely? Can the two go hand in hand? कि आप टर्न भी कर सकते लोगों की तरफ while you still be the strength for many people. That's what the topic is, and thank you again for being here. So I'll start with you, Vijay. He was like, "Oh, you're starting with me." Okay, it was a strong move to come from Netherlands, shifting countries, and to fulfill something that people find very flimsy. That's a Bollywood dream, right? So it's filmy, absolutely. So tell me, आपको क्या लगता है strength क्या है आपके लिए? आपके हिसाब से strength क्या है? A strong person की category क्या है? And आपकी फैमिली में और आपके इर्द गिर्द आप किसको स्ट्रॉन्ग मानते हो?
It's a very broad and loaded question. The first thing that came into my mind when you said strength was just resilience. I guess if we talk about mental strength, it's you can pick up something very heavy. That's also strength, but powering through situations and just having the courage to do things comes from a lot of confidence and resilience, because you have to keep that strength and that interest in whatever it is that you have going. So yeah, and for me, why I came here was just basically very simple. There wasn't much stuff for Indians in front of the camera even 5-10 years ago over there, and I am pretty Indian myself, so I just like packed my bags and with a lot of there was just a lot of confidence that I just came here, this part of the world. My dad also, he wanted to, or he did something which back in his time was not considered the very cool thing to do, which is hotel management, hospitality stuff. And him kind of breaking out of India and facing a lot of discrimination even when he was in the Netherlands and opening something of his own. So I get my strength, I will chip through that. I would look up to, for example, my dad, but I've also had situations where he has indirectly asked for help or you've noticed that he needs it. So then you have to kind of be that in that situation. We need to rely on each other.
So I'll ask you the same question. Okay, coming to you, कि आपको क्या लगता है कि is that, I mean, because everybody has different life experiences. शायद इनकी जिंदगी में है कि everybody is equally strong, so it's a nice divide. I would say it's a very balanced divide. But कई बार ऐसा होता है कि balance नहीं होता. एक बंदा ज़्यादा घर में वो बोझा उठा रहा होता है सबको काम डाउन करने के लिए, सबको संभालने के लिए. What do you feel about that? How does that affect your life?
My friends, my cousins, for some reason, I don't know, for some strange reason, they've always come up to me for suggestions, for advice. So slowly that actually became a thing. Talk to Anju.
Okay.
Like that. Yeah, so sometimes what happens is that maybe you are not in a mental space, you don't have that bandwidth to talk to others, to listen to them also, because when you even when you listen to them, they want you to listen to them firstly. Advice comes later, right? So that listening sometimes become very draining for you, because maybe you while managing other things in life, your day-to-day life, multitasking. You don't have that bandwidth. But because you are seen as that one person you can always go to, which is a very good thing. I feel blessed when I hear that from them. But sometimes you are mentally off. You're not able to probably give a piece of advice. So listening does happen, of course, but then you are short of words, and then you realize maybe that why it is happening because because you are seen as strong, but in that very moment you are not clearly.
So you feel the need to be that
Yeah.
strength still, though you don't feel like
Yeah,
it
because
yourself.
then they will think ki, "Arey, acha," फिर next time they will think twice before coming to me because she might have her own problem. So
so
let's
you
not
can't
bother her. I don't want them to feel that.
Okay.
Go away from the comfort that they are, gaining from your problem.
I've also grown up, though I have a lovely family, but I've grown up with a single father and a younger sister. And my grandmother was the one, my dadi was the one who was at home constantly. But there's a generation gap. So for me, I very honestly did not have anybody that I could go to and share a lot of things for a very long time. It would be a one-off situation where I would go to her and be like, okay, this is happening in my life. But we're not living in the same household. So it used to get very, difficult to find the right time. She's busy. She was very busy working at that point while I was growing up. And somehow happened that for my father to rely on, the woman in the house was me. So every problem or every situation that he would find himself in, he would come and ask me for, okay, पर्दे के कलर क्या change कर, क्या नए पर्दे लगाने हैं या सोफा का कवर, or even like, oh, I want to change my job or I want to do this. Similarly, when he would have, no way of getting through to my younger sister, I would be the one who'd be like, okay, hold on. And it happens even till today. Like, we're planning a wedding and they'll both be at loggerheads with each other and they'll both be fighting, and I'll be like, listen, let me just talk to both of you separately, and things get done because that's how I know how to deal with them now. But till such time that I probably decided to get married to my husband, I didn't have anybody that I could pick the phone up and be like, hey, this is what's happening in my life. Now I chew his brain. Now I have him for my, as my support. And he does, and I, like when you asked who is the strongest person, Dad obviously, because, Dad, Nani, all of us have suffered the same loss. But for me, my husband recently lost, we lost my father-in-law, and they were very, very close. They were like best friends. He would talk for an hour every day on video call to my father-in-law, and I was dreading the fact, because he'd been ill for a very long time. I was dreading the fact that when the day comes, I don't know how he's going to react to it, and how I am going to be, whether I'm going to be able to be that kind of support system for him or not. But I would say he was very mentally strong. You saw him in the first couple of days. He was trying to be there for his mom, his sisters, everything, and I had to be stronger than that. She was the only person I could go and shut the room and cry to, because I couldn't do that in front of the rest of my in-laws. So I think he handled himself exceptionally well, and I was glad that all these years that I was doing my trauma dumping on him, he had me to do the same with. So yeah, I would say for now he's probably like the strongest person mentally I know for the past year.
What about you guys? Anything? I mean, what can I ask you guys? What would you like to share about? As I said, you all are newly married. So, do you find still difficult to become the strength for each other, or you feel it's just flown in easily? Was it a love marriage that helps you? Or was it an arranged marriage that makes you still conscious of each other? Love marriage, right? So anything you'd like to share about, do you all turn to each other? There's somebody else, you still turn back home, Mama, is that what it is, or how does it feel?
So I would say, first of all, after listening to everyone, I think one common thing is that everybody says that the strongest person that's there, he or she is the one who's not able to share or open up or communicate. I think I personally feel that because I've seen it in my house also, like I said, for me, my father is the strongest emotionally because he doesn't open up. He's a problem solver. But now I feel that needs to change. I mean, as people, as a community, even if somebody is the strongest and we know they are the strongest, they'll take care of our problems, we need to ask them what the issue is. Because strongest people need support, and I think we need to stop confusing strength with the lack of vulnerability. If somebody is vulnerable, I think that takes strength. So, like you said, married life, so because I'm very close to my family, very close to him as well, when we got married, I think the difference is, we come from like different mindset, different set of mind, but after coming together, I think now I think we are stronger both, because we have that strength to accommodate each other, we have that strength to fall back on each other, and even after, like, there are times when we really, like, we hate each other, what are you doing, but then we understand each other, ki, where is the person coming from, right? So I think, like she said, as a husband wife, you need to, if your partner is strong, you have to be the strongest when they are at their weak. And that takes a lot of strength, and that takes a lot of maturity, and also understanding that what your partner might be feeling at that point in time, because we think that, why is this person behaving in this way, or why is that person not acting the way we want them to. But I think it's the fact that, if they're not acting, we have to step up at that point, and even the strongest people need support. So I think everybody needs to be there, because nobody is the strongest, they need support.
What do you think, Suchi?
There are a lot of thoughts running in my head. I really don't know what to say. I was considered strong at a very young age. Maybe it came up like, sorry, but Shetty hai kar legi. So that was something which was always there in the house. And of course, my father lost his job at a very young age, and then I had to start working when I was in grade 7. So, as a girl, when she comes from school and somebody has to, there's an expectation ki, "Acha din kaisa raha? What you did in school?" But what I have always heard, or mostly heard, is "Pani ka bill bacha hai, kirana wala aaya tha, we need to pay these bills." So at the age of 11 and 12, wherein I really don't know what is plus and multiplication, if I have to figure out पैसे कहाँ से आएंगे घर पे, from there till date, that struggle of being a ATM machine, sorry I'm putting it like this, but that strength has really taken a toll on me. Now I have started looking at life कि अच्छा ठीक है मुझसे बात कर रहे हैं तो अभी मुझसे क्या चाहिए, because that is something what I got conditioned to. And it gets very sad when you start feeling कि पूछूंगी तो ऐसा लगेगा कि I'm not capable, इतने सालों का experience कहाँ गया. So all these things have, I really don't know, when you say it, like I don't know what is strength, because what I feel, जो दुनिया को लगता है strength है, that is the weakest point of my life. When you feel that तुमको कुछ करना है पर तुम्हें पता नहीं क्या करना चाहिए. And Dad had a lot of deaths in his life, बहुत कुछ ये था. With regard grade 10 के लिए घर का फ्रिज बेचना पड़ा, जब किराना का शॉप का ये नहीं हुआ, बिल्स नहीं भरे गए, तो घर से सोफा टीवी सब उठा के लेके गए. So whether adjusting to things is called strength or not falling to this situation is strength, I don't know what is strength anymore.
I think now I'd love you guys to help her understand. It's a very valid question that she asked.
Because strong people are so busy taking care of everyone that they forget to take care of themselves. And when the society points at you for being selfish, be shameless. Love yourself.
That's what now, after years, I think of a certain kind of conditioning. I personally have become this person, this kind of thing where I tell my father, no, I'm not going to go to. No, I don't want to go here. No, I don't want to do this. Because I'm like, okay, this is my life. I want to live it. Yeah, I need to, and you have to draw boundaries, because I've unfortunately seen friends who don't have boundaries with their parents fall prey to a lot of negativity at home and a lot of like mental health issues. So I
I'm
don't
just
want to
saying,
be
so
that.
like what I mean, just to share that what we all feel as people. I mean, like I say, lay people who are not don't understand mental health the way you guys do. Talk about, I mean, Nitin Misbah, we talk about Ranjana, and we talked about Suchitra. So all four of you, I'll just like to just sum up what we are talking about. We're talking about we perceive strength as somebody in our family who has that strength, or one of us have that strength that we're talking about, and we feel the burden of that strength at times because we feel कि हम ही खुद ही burden डाल देते हैं, हम ही करते रहते हैं सबके लिए, और हमको ऐसे roles में कोई ढालते हैं और हम भी नहीं निकलते हैं, हम boundaries नहीं set करते हैं. So हमें roles में डाला जाता है कि अच्छा, like she said, she's the older one of the house, the woman of the house at that age. She's the provider of the house. She is the one who is encouraging the younger generation to become stronger for the next generation. ताकि जो उन्होंने face किया the restrictions वो ना face करें. So everybody has been somewhere. She has become the emotional support for people. So there has been a space where everybody feels that power, that pressure, and I would, from my understanding, your women feel it more. I think women take it more upon themselves. कि हमें करना है because हम caregivers हैं, caretakers हैं. So I do agree कि selfishness, what she's saying is very correct, कहीं selfish होना पड़ता है. But मेरा ये personal understanding है, which is also why I created Dear Zindagi. Because I mean, when I think you asked me what was your inspiration behind creating before we started this discussion, and I forgot to mention this major point, which is actually the reason why I did it. Because basically हम जब बचपन में थे, हम छोटे थे, तो हमें बहुत सिखाया जाता था moral science का. We used to be told that sharing is caring, love thy neighbor. And dhire we forgot to love ourselves, which was very justified. That slowly, I think a lot of mental health experts started saying, you have to love yourself to love others, right? And we all believe that. But मैं जहाँ तक अभी दुनिया देखती हूँ, maybe I'm wrong, but मैं जहाँ तक दुनिया अभी देख रही हूँ कि हमने वो बहुत अच्छे से पकड़ लिया कि you need to love yourself to love others. But वो जो love yourself to love others में हम others को अभी भूलते जा रहे हैं. Abhi it's slowly becoming about I, me, myself is what my personal experience has been. So I would love to know, I would love to know what you guys, because as I said कि पहले हमें कहीं ना कहीं mental health के लिए बोला जाता था sharing is caring. फिर mental health बहुत important है, हम सब जानते हैं, इसलिए बोला गया था first love yourself, love others. अब क्या आप लोगों का take है on strength versus loneliness? आप लोगों का क्या take है on how to be selfish in a way that you're not selfish towards society? In a way, you're self-caring, but not selfish. I would say that's what would be being self-caring versus selfish is a very thin line. I'd love some of you to help me define that.
I think I just like even to talk about strength itself. Strength is known either by discovery or it is known because somebody appreciated you. And if we are self-focused, then we are barely appreciating because we are only thinking about what we can critique and what is not getting fulfilled. And often we say expectation रखो ही नहीं या compromise करो, यही नियम है. But ऐसा होता नहीं है ना. I mean, we don't feel satisfied जब हमें compromise करना पड़े, जब हमें अपनी expectations readjust करनी पड़े. So it is. So when you're asking कि self-caring, आप बोल रहे हो कि चीज़ें ज़्यादा self-focus हो गए लोगों के लिए. Compassion definitely decrease हुआ है. World over compassion के बारे में बात की जा रही है because of the trends that we are seeing, जहाँ पे othering का concept है ना, उसके पास ज़्यादा है, मेरे पास कम है. So definitely it is creating more misery.
All along we've been defining strength as someone who is the provider, who is the supporter, who does not bend, right? Is that really the definition of strength? Because if there's a situation where I feel it's important for me to bend and it's the right thing to do to bend, and because in my head the definition of strength is that I can't bend, so it may come across as I'm strong in front of all of you, but am I really being strong over there? Right? The same applies to seeking help. If I'm in a situation where objectively and I may be wrong objectively, but at least as objective as I can be, if I feel this is a situation where I need help, if I can actually seek help, is that strength or is that being weak? And in situations where I feel that I can help someone and I go ahead and I actually help them, then again, am I being weak? Am I being strong? Am I being selfish because I think they will like me? Am I being objective because I think, oh, maybe this is the most appropriate thing to do, right? So that definition of strength itself begins to create the problem. So if I identify with strength as, am I the person who is fulfilling the loophole that exists in my system? In my system, there is lack of money, am I the provider for money? Then now every time, whether I can or not, whether I'm in that position or not, if there is a lack of money in the system, I want to go out there and I want to be the provider of money. Similarly, when you looked at roles, someone mentioned that I've been the emotional provider, I've been the financial provider, I've been someone that people come to when they want to resolve a problem. These are all identities we've created in our own minds, and it's that identity that is defining strength for us. So maybe first we need to relook at the definition of strength and then begin from there.
Sometimes vulnerability is unfortunately understood as dependence. Dependence is not vulnerability. Me being able to say that I'm sad and being okay with it, and knowing in myself that in due course, अरे कल भी sad ही थोड़ी रहेंगे अभी, I'll come out of it, right? So I give myself that much time and I'm okay with coming out of that space. So vulnerability holds a lot of power. Yeah. But dependence doesn't. Dependence makes everything toxic. Like if I am in a bad position, then it is your duty to do something for me. I mean, now that can become very toxic and difficult to handle. Right? Now similarly, strength is also seen as being dominating, being not taking help. No, strength is resilience. Strength is clarity. Okay? And strength is also the ability to say no. So, I was really moved by what Suchi had to say.
I have a question after
About,
this.
weakness, and because she posed such an important question, it really moved me that all that other people are seeing as strength. No, it has come from my weakest moments, and that's so much truth in that. Yes. So what she knows is actually the most important thing. What other people are reflecting might be because उनके लिए तो फायदे का ही है, अगर आप कर रहे हो तो आप कर ही रहे हो तो उनके लिए तो फायदे का ही है, तो वो तो यही बोलेंगे कि अच्छा वेरी नाइस सुनो कीप डूइंग इट.
ऐसा हो जाता है कि I don't know, maybe I was too young to understand all these
No,
things.
of course. I mean, when you're talking about class 7 and 8 and you're not even an adult. So, obviously, it's not for you to, take that.
But
Yes.
I just feel अगर वो टाइम पे मैंने वो नहीं किया होता या वो सिचुएशन हैंडल somehow नहीं किया होता, तो how life would have been.
Correct.
My mom couldn't make it. My dad never got a job because he tried, but he never got it. Luckily, God blessed me with that talent. तो dancing से थोड़ा बहुत करके हो गया. So I always say, like, it was not me who chose dance. It was dance who chose me.
Yes.
So, wherein I used to teach somebody to be like, listen, I'll teach your daughter. You give me 4 vada pavs, me and my mummy daddy will eat. So that is how my journey started. But अगर वो नहीं किया होता, अगर वो टाइम पे स्ट्रेंथ नहीं दिखाया होता या whatever situation, how things would have handled. मतलब मेरे पास ना बोलने का भी ऑप्शन नहीं था.
Absolutely. And this gives me just hear me out, a wonderful idea that, even you will relate with. Strength actually takes us from one space of reality and evolution to the next space of evolution. So, I mean, the psychologists over here know, but it's a very commonplace theory now. You all can see it. The Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Oh, wonderful. So, everybody knows. Wonderful. So, what Suchi is talking about, it's very simple to understand. So, what she's talking about is your dance, or your inner strength, or your inner fortitude, let us say, and to see that, okay, कुछ कोई नहीं कर रहा है, मुझे तो करना है. Okay, आप भी बैठ नहीं गए, आपने किया. Now she was trying to maintain that level of survival, which is our very, very basic need, correct? But your dance, your art, it kept evolving, and I'm sure that took you even to the next steps in that hierarchy of needs, right? Today it might also be a self-actualizing point for you. Like some of us are writers and some of us are, somebody is a dancer, singer, actor. All that we have within us, these capacities, these are strengths, and they are called strengths. Why? Because they have the capacity to take you from one space to the other. Now this is not in relation with the world.
Right.
Irrespective of whatever is happening, कोई भी आपकी reality में आ रहा है नहीं आ रहा है, आप
I
evolve
often
होंगे, right?
wonder that people are people even aware of what their strengths are? Because when you're saying
Yeah,
that it came
sometimes,
from the
yes.
weakest moment, that's why I said it's discoverable. So मैं पता नहीं होता, but most of the amazing, moments in history have happened where people just did what they used to do every day. But in that toughest situation, they did what they usually did. And then they discovered, oh, retrospect में मैंने उसकी जान बचाई, मैंने वो किया, मैं पानी में कूद गया और गेट पे से लोगों को बचाया. Because I do it every day. I mean, it was just one of those things I did. So it's discovered. And many of us, that when we see people, they, any management grad or any client, we say, what's a SWOT analysis? So हम अक्सर बोलते हैं कि आप बताइए आपके स्ट्रेंथ क्या है, आप डिस्कवर करिए आपकी वीकनेस क्या है, अपॉर्चुनिटीज क्या है, थ्रेट्स क्या है. और लोगों को स्ट्रेंथ नहीं पता, एंड वो पता नहीं होता है क्योंकि हमने या तो वो सिचुएशन में देखी, या तो मैं तो ऐसे मानती हूँ कि हमने वो मुश्किल सिचुएशन शायद इतनी देखी नहीं, बट जब देखेंगे तब वो उभर आएगी. और या फिर ऐसा होगा कि हमें कोई बताएगा कि बाबा यू आर एक्सीलेंट एट दिस. And
most of the time it happens. We're working on our strength from the other people.
Others
and
who
you
appreciate us, no?
But some has some part of strength which no one has ever seen
It's
in ourselves. So it takes time to grow. And as we go through situations, as you rightly pointed out, then we got to know, acha, this is also good about it. I can do this.
And like Trinjana was saying, no, कि it's a commonplace thing.
Yeah.
Like, okay, she's saying that, oh, मैंने तो कर लिया डांस. हाँ, लेकिन यहाँ पे बैठे हैं सारे लोग, कितने लोग डांस कर रहे हैं और इतना अच्छा कर सकते हैं, right? So which means it's something special. That's what I meant. And just to add.
My mother faced a mental health challenges very early, when she was talking about. She used to have, I'm talking 30 years down the line, when mental health was a taboo, mental health was Sida Pagal Ho, and to know that people are calling your mother that. It actually makes me think that when people, the only thing that so psychiatrists are not, psychologists are not there in the picture, not at all actually, and if you had to go to a psychiatrist.
Can I ask where this was? In urban India?
In Gujarat.
Okay.
A young girl who's been brought up by her grandparents. And my mother had this challenge. She came back from my father's house, which was in Bombay. And when she came back, she was in a very, deteriorating condition. And I have seen her how she used to have those violent episodes and how she used to respond. So as a child, you are looking, is she going to take care of you? So fortunately, unfortunately, never got to develop a relationship between a mother and a daughter. It was me. At times she used to walk out of the houses without anybody knowing. I used to go running, looking for her, as a young child. So I think strength comes as in how to what you hold on in that phase, and it is very subjective. So evolving, and does that bring to loneliness? At times, there has been a series of life experiences wherein you keep your guard up, you have that strength. But then later on, कोई मुझे तो पूछ लो कि मेरे को कैसा feel हुआ है.
I'm also hoping that the kind of conversation that we're having now, I'm hoping that whoever watches and whoever hears this also realizes that sometimes it's not easy for people who are used to being strong to reach out for them. So
it's my problem. It's one of my problem.
Exactly.
It's like मैं कर लूँगी. हो जाएगा.
Either it is that, or else if somebody even asks me today,
awkward हो
tell me.
जाता है.
No, it's like क्या बोलूं या क्या बोलूं?
Yeah. That is also.
Like where should I start from? And how long can I go? I really don't know.
Yeah, what is the limit?
What is the limit?
Because now that experience is not about a year or one episode, it has become a lifetime.
And many people don't want to listen to the whole story. They want
it's
to ask
like
क्या चल रहा है,
undergrad
but you start
ask
telling them like, okay, okay.
It's curiosity.
So just before we go to that, right? So the question that you asked about if I would not have done, then what else? So when we talk about mental strength, I would actually break it into two parts. There is the mental aspect of it, and then there is the behavioral aspect of it. I don't have money to eat food. Forget mental strength you have or you don't have. You will have to go to do something so that you can get money to eat. That behavior that you're using is not necessarily strength. That's actually out of no choice.
That's survival.
That's survival. You know you have mental strength where you have an option and you're able to exercise that option. So for example, today I'm not in a position or I'm not in a situation where I need to be out there providing for everyone. My bread butter is not at stake. I actually have an option to say no. But now do I have the mental strength to say no and exercise the choice that I have? Where you don't have an option, you don't have an option. There you can't really talk about mental strength.
I get your point. I think
मेरा क्वेश्चन है इसमें अभी जैसे इन्होंने बताया कि at a very young age she faced like crisis, right? लेकिन उन क्राइसिस में खड़ा होना भी at such a young age, उसको आप कैसे डिफाइन करोगे? ये इनर स्ट्रेंथ ही रहा होगा जिसने उनको वो सिचुएशन को फाइट करने के लिए लगा. See, there are options.
Which I told.
Yeah, what?
But I think Nitin is adding on.
No, I think what he said.
Which I already said. That yes, of course it requires
It's
strength.
like
वो कहाँ से आएगा?
I'll just try to see what I understood because I'm also from this side of the thing where mental health I'm trying to understand as we go along. So what I've understood what you're trying to say is that we have three kinds of different strengths in us. One is behavioral strength that he's talking about. अभी survival करना है तो हम strength लाते हैं. Of course that's a strength कि आपने survive कर लिया, आपने मतलब कुछ लोग मर जाते हैं, कुछ सुसाइड कमिट कर देते हैं, कुछ लोग बहुत सारे लोगों को मारते हैं, पीटते हैं, बहुत सारे गंदे बिहेवियर्स करते हैं, बट आपने फिर भी खड़ी हुई हैं आप और you've managed for yourself. So obviously I'm sure Nitin will say that is also a strength, but what he's also now talking beyond that for us as we stand today. Like I feel that, and I'm learning from what he's saying, is because I've always felt that I'm very strong because people turn to me, but now at a certain age I've started realizing that I feel taken for granted also, right? But what's stopping me from saying no today? Is that, and there is an element in me, I would honestly admit it out here, that I feel that, oh, this person is going to judge me, or I'm going to let a person down. So either I'm going to feel judged, so I'm not being mentally strong if I'm still giving into that, because now I know better. I think that's what he's
May I
talking
just
about.
add to this thing?
Yeah.
I mean, just taking the focus out from Suchi
Uh-huh.
and extending what Nitin just said, that for example, for survival, I needed to stand up at some point and bring the bread on the table maybe. And that time, doing that was strength. Yeah? And I've seen that dearth of money and what is a tinge, to your stomach and to your existence kind of. Now let us say today I am in a space where actually I don't need to think about tomorrow's meal. Yeah, but because therapists generally see this, that there are many things in the reality of people which will still come from that space.
Exactly.
And the survival immediately they may go. Again, I'm reiterating here, we are completely taking this away from Suchi because all of us experience this in different ways. Yes.
So that's actually an interesting point. So the reason I'm saying that it's interesting.
All of us are here.
Yeah.
Found it very interesting. Now we analyzing शुरू हो गया.
Inner child is like I think every therapist's main focus, right?
लेकिन जब हम स्ट्रेंथ की बात करते हैं ना, when we talk about strength, loneliness, कहीं ना कहीं जो strong person है उसको आदत हो जाती है support देने की.
I think what Nitin is saying, उसी आदत को तोड़ना ही
Yeah. So he is making a point of beyond that.
Which is actually
वो challenge है.
So when she mentions that I am doing this because no one was there for me and I want to be there for someone. So therefore I'm separating between what I am doing. In a particular situation, someone is dying, I am tired, but my tiredness in that situation is not as much as the chance of the other person dying. So me going out of my way, fighting beyond that tiredness to help them and take them to the hospital. Okay, this is a sign of strength. But this is in the context that I realize that someone else requires help more than what I require right now. So if my support to the other person is coming from that position, that alright, I'm in a better position right now. No one was there for me. I can help them, and helping them doesn't really take anything away from me, but it's also giving me that feeling that alright, I could support someone. Then it's brilliant.
That's it.
Correct. The
That's
problem
it. I only do this much.
The problem is the other way around. For a lot of people.
That's
Correct.
That is strength.
Which is strength.
Which is good, which is strength. Yes.
और ना हो पाई हमसे.
Brilliant. Now, what happens with a lot of other people is this, that I am struggling. You need help. probably I need more help than you need right now.
But
I'm going out of my way to help you because I have had this idea that, oh, I am the provider, I am the supporter, so how can I not help?
That's what
And that becomes a problem. And that's what will lead to loneliness.
So compassion has to necessarily start with the first step, which is self-compassion.
Yes.
Because we all know that we can't fill from an empty cup.
Correct.
So it has to, if we work continuously, like you're saying, and sometimes we are in that situation where we weren't discovered, it's not the age to have done what you all did. But at that age where you were put in a situation you discovered, you didn't know better sense, you just managed survival. All of y'all are people with lived experience, so three of y'all managed survival, and that's what I think Nitin is trying to say, was their mental strength. I mean,
And I also,
we really
sorry
didn't
to
do
cut
that.
you, but I also, at this point, I don't blame anybody for that. Like, for me, when I look at fights that my father, I love my father to death. I could kill for him, but I could kill him as well. So it's that kind of a relationship. But when I look at it, I said, I'm 32 today. He was 32 when he lost his wife. If I had to lose my partner today, I would be devastated. And he had 2 little girls to bring up. He did not know better. He needed therapy at that point of time. We didn't know. So he didn't know. Nobody knew. Even for that, my nani didn't know. My dadi didn't know.
I think it was all of us because
nobody knew.
I went through my grief. My mother
Exactly.
went through her
She
grief.
lost
I'm
her
looking after my
sister.
mother. My mother's lost a child. So it was like a combination of all of us losing somebody who was very dear to us. And all of us not knowing how to cope with each other.
Exactly. So
It's like,
we can't blame each other, or we can't be like, oh, I used to do that initially. When I started realizing what mental health is, I would blame my father, saying you are the one who caused me so much trauma and you said these things. And then I said, but if I'm living with this, imagine what he did. He lived with it. He went through. And he also had financial problems, and as a family, then we have to support.
and I
each
think
other.
when I went through therapy for my challenges, which were, I think, honestly, first world problems, but they were all not at all devastating. But I think what I realized is that you start doing, because you're cognitively reframing. अब वही सिचुएशन को आप देख रहे हो कि वो बॉटल मेरी फुल है कि हाफ है, और वो सामने वाले के लिए हाफ के लिए फुल है. और वही पर्सपेक्टिव बिल्डिंग जब हम थेरेपी में करते हैं तो आपको समझ आता है उसका दायरा वो था, वो उसमें सीमित था और इसीलिए वो नहीं कर पाया. एंड इज दैट ओके? कैन आई रीपेरेंट माई सेल्फ? सो कैन आई रियली टेक केयर ऑफ द younger child within me that craves those moments of appreciation, those moments of care, and can I extend? But loneliness के लिए antidote है self compassion. Because आप अकेले नहीं हो, आप खुद के साथ हो.
Yes.
You also are adding something.
I never really say that I'm on my
You
own.
are going to ask me something, but I don't know what. I think it.
Okay, so just before I'll add one thing, because you're talking about loneliness, you're talking about compassion and all of this. See, we kind of forget context. Compassion without context can actually cause a lot of loneliness.
Exactly.
Strength without context can actually cause a lot of weakness. As long as you are able to contextually apply what you are doing. And therefore I said this earlier, that in a situation, if you realize that objectively I am in a position to show compassion to someone, right? It will be brilliant. It will help you, it will help them. But if you are so vulnerable right now that showing compassion would further drain you of energy, then it will make you feel even more lonely, that who helps me if I am helping everyone?
In that case, the strength is to say no.
Then the strength is to say no. So that's where the context comes into play, and that sadly a lot of us tend
So
to miss.
going ahead with context, there are transactional relationships and there are deep relationships. And sometimes transactional relationships, like at an early age, like everyone is sharing, that relationship is transactional because one is taking a lot from you. Maybe you're not having so much also to give. That is also possible. But still there is a lot of taken from you, and somewhere that, like you mentioned, that natak mat kar or something like that, and you are dismissed for what are your needs. Now this is a very typically one-sided transactional relationship. Sometimes it can go on the other side also, by the other person attracting attention and things like that. But even those relationships have the potential to shift to a deeper relationship later on. We can see that, like through therapy, all of us have seen that with our clients, where mother-child relationship, or son and father relationship, or daughter and mother relationship, and things like that. At a different time, have shifted into a different kind of a relationship, because now, like Nitin said, the context has changed. Now you're not dependent on that person to provide you nurture. For example, I am able to provide nurture to my own self. I recognize that I don't need that from my mother. And I am alright to see her as another human being who had her own challenges whenever. And then automatically it comes to a space where that, forgiving naturally comes. So it's not like you're being the saint here and trying to forgive, but you have also evolved and understood. Now the same thing, you can have deeper relationships somewhere else. Like you are providing strength or you are giving something to other people, but then you have your own source as well. Like all of them, everybody is saying that, you don't expect the same kind of a thing from the same relationship. You will maybe have a
Exactly. I have a question here or a concern here, which is coming back to why for me Dear Zindagi is a different space than what we are talking about, spaces where health is tackled. Coming from what she said, that you reach a stage in life and compassion you feel gets you loneliness. I believe compassion gets you loneliness because everybody is being compassionate to themselves, and right now we are all in a space where we don't want to or don't have the bandwidth to take out time for others. But in my space of Dear Zindagi, what I'm wanting to do, whether it's a pipe dream, it might be a very childish dream of mine, because I've grown up with a spiritual inclination where I was taught and I learned and I thought that the world needs to be a better place, that me, myself is very secondary. It's about caring about others around you. And there was a stage in my life till recently where I felt that भाड़ में गया दुनिया, बहुत कर लिया मैंने, सब लोग आते हैं लेने के लिए, देता कोई नहीं है, I forget देना, उसको वैल्यू भी नहीं करता कोई जो मैं दे दूँ, So people are just draining you, and when I'm looking at them, so then I went through that negative phase where I felt कि यार अभी नहीं करना, बहुत हो गया, मुझे भी सीखना है, ना बोलना भी सीख लिया मैंने. But then I realized that if all of us do that, everybody gives up on the niceness, then where do we go after that? So I'm battling.
I think that's an extreme
myself.
that you're talking about, and that's not what we are.
No, I'm coming to that. I know you're not suggesting that. I'm bringing that up specifically because what I want to reach a point is where this discussion, where I want to help myself understand and all of us understand, is that while we are talking about self-care, we are also somewhere saying, "Acha, tum apne aap ko sudharo." You say no because you need to feel better. But I'm realizing that while we're doing that, we are unfortunately becoming another extreme of not giving a damn about anybody else right now. And
that's a different entitled situation.
So that's actually why I mentioned context in the first place. Setting boundaries doesn't mean that I set boundaries so that no one can talk to me. Setting boundaries means I know what is a comfortable space for me, how much I can help you, and where I feel that beyond this I am not in a position to help you. It actually takes a lot more away from me than me being able to provide to you. Learning to say no doesn't mean that I have to compulsively say no for everything. It simply means...
Does not mean you have to be non-compassionate, right? You can still be compassionate. That's where I'm,
Correct. So learning to say no means that alright, for example, sometimes you will say no to someone out of compassion. Because you realize that every time when you say yes to someone, they are now becoming dependent on you. And by constantly saying yes, you are actually supporting their dependence on you. So at times how parents would actually tell their kids, because they want the kids to grow. As a parent, you can do something for them. And yet you will tell them, "Nahi, aap apne aap karo. I will not do this thing." Is that saying no out of compassion? Or is that saying no out of the idea, how much can I do things for you? So it's not just about the behavior. It's not just about what I'm saying. It's about the intent behind it, which is making me say it. Is it coming out of void, lack, fear? Or is it coming out of, alright, in this situation, this is the best response for everyone involved, including myself.
इसके बारे में psychiatrist 2 दिन बात कर सकते हैं.
So just to kind of summarize that way, the moment I'm saying I'm going out of my way, like Suchitra mentioned, that is the answer. If you're feeling you're going out of your way, right, then you're not really helping someone.
And you're not helping yourself.
And you're not helping
If you're not happy about it.
Correct. Because
you're wanting something.
Because finally you will start despising the person and the need also that the person is showing.
So I think
again, like
Sorry,
she
something
said-
that Nitin wanted to
So,
finish.
okay, so I was
I'm
just
sorry.
Yeah.
finishing over there that. So this is a conversation that I've had with people around me a lot, where the kind of work that we do, because we are mentoring psychologists and so on, there's a lot of help and support that we'll offer. Right? And I get asked this questions by people that I'm helping also. मतलब क्यों? We will give you a call at times at 7 o'clock and tell you that 10 minutes can we have a call, and if you're available you'll pick up the call. So why are you providing so much of help? But for me, in that, at no point do I ever feel that I'm going out of my way. There are also places where I would be very blunt in saying no, because I realize that in the situation, in the space that I am in, I can't offer that help to you. So therefore, that particular phrase, going out of my way, that is your answer. That gives you an understanding whether I am being balanced contextually.
But where at times I feel a strong person with a clarity of mind and you know, जो पर्सपेक्टिव एक दूसरे की सिचुएशंस को बेटर वे में समझ रहा भी है, मुझे नहीं लगता वो आउट ऑफ द वे जाके कुछ करेगा. जहाँ प्यार है
नहीं
या
करेगा ना,
जहाँ
वही
उम्मीद
हम
है,
लोग बोल रहे हैं.
वही मैं
नहीं
बोल रही हूँ. That person will never. भाई हाँ, बट जहाँ इम्पोजिंग आ गया या कुछ ऐसा, तो दैट बिकम्स अ टोटल डिफरेंट सिनेरियो. लेकिन जहाँ जैसे आउट ऑफ कंपैशन व्हाट ही सेड, इट्स रियली इट डज मैटर यू नो व्हेन लाइक आप किसको बहुत चाहते हो या किसी के लिए कुछ करना है आपको, तो आप रुकोगे नहीं कि वो हमें आके बोले या क्या. Just it goes with the flow.
That's what I meant when I was telling that.
And that is your inner strength. वो आप
inner
में आता
strength,
ही है.
naturally will
आप
get expressed.
Naturally, आप कितना भी बोलो ना, नहीं ये, पर अगर वो आप में इनबिल्ट है ना, आप करते जाओ, वो कुछ भी हो जाए. Like you.
The idea of this whole conversation was that you know, people who are strong firstly need to allow themselves to be vulnerable. People who are strong, the other people who they're being strong for need to understand that you need to push them to be vulnerable sometimes and not just turn to them कि अरे यार I can turn to this person for help and not realize that अरे वो मेरे पास कभी नहीं आती हेल्प के लिए. कहीं ना कहीं आपको भी समझना पड़ेगा कि ऐसा नहीं कि वो उसके पास प्रॉब्लम्स ही नहीं होंगे इसलिए नहीं आ रही हो. I don't think there's anybody in the world today that doesn't have some problem with the other. That means sometimes they might need your probing. Sometimes when you're being the kandha, like I have a cousin sister who stays in Goa, she turns to me for help and I turn to her for help. But she's also done a lot of your hypnosis, she's done all those things. So she'll be there for me, but at the same time, she can pick up the phone and say, yeah, I'm so frustrated today, this is what's happening in my life. So you can be the strength for each other as well at that point. So I'm just opening,
So I have a question. I don't know whether it's actually related to this or like a sub lane or whatever, but it's like we have experts here on human psychology, right? And we, like as lay people also, do understand a little bit of human psychology because a lot of exposure today, a lot of information, of course the good information, the filtered one, where we apply our own mind also. So at times what happens is, talking of again strength and all of that, if you get upset with a person, maybe your friends, your family, but you decide to keep it to yourself, not address it, not voice yourself, because in your head you know where he or she must be coming from, why he or she must have done this or said that. And it happens again and again with different set of people, like different people, and that slowly becomes your habit. And because in your head you either you give them benefit of doubt all the time, or you kind of justify their stance or their words or everything and anything because you think that you understand why it has happened. So that understanding or that very action of you deciding to just keep it to yourself, is that strength or bewkufi or whatever is what has been going on in my mind.
That be wise awareness.
I'll actually give you a small
Yes.
definition to keep in mind, right? The moment you start feeling that your strength, the moment you start feeling that whatever you are doing out of your perceived strength is bothering you, then it's not your strength.
Absolutely.
Can you elaborate?
So for example, I'm trying to understand someone there are people around me who are saying certain things because they are having their own challenges. Now, I think it's my strength to be able to understand them and not to be able to confront them on it because they are themselves going through a problem. At one level, I'm doing this out of the perception of strength.
But what's the perception?
Perception. So I'll come to that in a
Perception
moment.
is to be able to comprehend and understand.
I get the
Because
definition
it's
of
my
perception.
definition of
That's
strength.
That's the strength.
It's my definition of strength.
So that it's not actually your strength.
That's what I'm coming to.
Okay,
So whether
okay.
it's actually your strength or not depends on whether that action is later on bothering you.
Exactly.
So if you feel that I have been
Sorry, I
doing
didn't
this,
let you finish your sentence.
so that's exactly what perception of strength is. This discomfort that we experience within ourselves is eventually what stops us from going forward. And this is where therapy becomes extremely important and powerful. Because sometimes being able to address this discomfort by yourself, we are expecting too much out of ourselves also. So then that becomes the complete circle to keep in mind.
So I'm just going to wrap it up. I'm so glad that you guys came, and I think you have so much to say because this is a very big topic that we are trying to wrap up in a very, very short time.
We can actually could have gone on.
Gone on, yeah. Because I think,
Bored now.
So I'm really grateful to all you guys. I'm really glad that we had this session, and I'm hoping to have many more with you all. I hope that from this, whoever is listening, whoever is watching, just basically understands that you don't have to be strong alone. You have to show your vulnerability, right? And that's what we are trying to communicate from our basic topic that we've also gone into many, many different versions of. So strength does not need to mean loneliness. Two things basically are important. You don't have to be strong all the time. You need to show that you're vulnerable. And people who you're being strong for also need to get up and realize and help you to become vulnerable, help you to open up so that you can help yourself as well. While we're also saying be strong for others, but be strong for yourself first. Self-love while you love others. Let's not get dissuaded and let's not feel compassion can lead to loneliness. Though it's very real today, most of us feel that. At the same time, let's try to continue to be compassionate. The more we get compassionate together, the more we'll be able to change the little world around us as much as we can. Absolutely. Right? Thank you guys so much. I'm so happy to have you.
Thank you. It was wonderful, good discussion. We enjoyed a lot.
Quite varied and
Thank you for staying with this conversation. If these conversations matter to you, do subscribe.